And we are into the game, ladies and gentlemen. Just a brief break, but here we are at long last. Pineapple Phillips and Boggs on the mic, and it looks like an aggressive play, perhaps from Crew. They pop open the door, but they're actually not committing out hut quickly. Reversive finds the opening. That should be the signal, however. Reversive a second on the entry, and that is the site cracked open. A player Heaven can harass, and a player spamming the smoke could do something, but the bullets simply don't land for Red Canids, who are now locked out of the site and have a very difficult proposition ahead of them. I don't see a kit on the belts. I'm not sure if one has been dropped. If there's no kit, this round is all but guaranteed a loss.
Even with that kill, it makes it that much more so a loss for Red Canids. A couple good quick entries by the veteran in-game leader for Crew, and that just spirals out of control in favor of Crew and against the Red Canids. Rigi takes a little bit of damage on the exit, but it's just going to be a save of Cold Zero's armor at this point if he's going to be allowed to. And He's going to get backstabbed here. Does get one. Honda goes down with the ship. Cold will presumably save. I know that bomb did do some damage to the armor, so I don't think he's going to have a helmet, but at least a vest is going to be better than having to spend 650 on it for what should be a 4 spy here in this round. Because Red Canids got only those couple of kills. It's not great. It's not good economy-wise for the CT side. Whether they buy or they save, yeah, I like the buy call here. Get the FAMAS up. It's only 1900 now. I like this call.
The smart call when you know it's a utility-intensive map. You have to really bide your time. You might as well force buy in the second to ensure a better buy in the fourth. Math was hard there for a second.
Math is very hard. This is why I choose not to take math in college.
There. Mac 10, Galils, and AKs. Leave one SMG in hand for Crew. Scout. MP9, FAMAS, Deagle, and 5.7 for Red Canids, who don't have a kit once more.
I'm not sure how I feel about Cold's position in Fen with the FAMAS. If it's an MP9, I feel like that makes more sense.
Okay.
Wow.
It was a setup for a fake. He should get the free kill swinging, can line them up perhaps at range, but a flying Mac 10 simply does him in with next to no impact. That scout shot does 7 damage. I think it was through the door and the wall.
Or the floor and the door.
Yeah, probably more likely, honestly.
Some combination that just does nothing. I buy Scout, and did Venom Zeta get spotted?
It's a player in CT spawn too. They're just saving.
Yeah, Drop's just saving. And Venom Zeta is just trying to work his way around and saving. Knows there's a guy out box, and that's an easy duel for Honda to win. Drop's going to get hunted as well. At least one for him. AK, but there's 3 converging on his position. Messy spray for the second. And there's no way he gets out of this one. Deagle through the box from Rigi. And Crew, 2-0 up on Red Canids here on the T side of Nuke. Good start for them. Good start individually, too. Everybody but Lasers had impact in this game so far. Oh, and Andrew, but I mean, wouldn't you have Reversive, Honda, and Rigi hitting shots like they have been? And the Flying Mac 10 to start off that round? You're doing good for a couple rounds in.
Still a little bit worried. They're spreading out a lot with rifles versus a 4 spy. No real opportunity for trades. That player lurking into CT spawn got the timing on the 5.7. But that could definitely go awry if it happens earlier in the round and the advantage is given the team on a compromised investment. But I'm sure they won't play as freely when the rifles come through. But this round should be a free one. P250s and a USP. No utility, no Kevlar, no kit. Red Canids are going to try to play the close angles in hopes that someone walks into their crosshair and they can get a quick double tap with those pistols.
Crew grouped up, not wanting to get caught up by the Red Canids on this pistol round. Not even half by, just baby investment here. P250s. Doesn't quite have the same ring P250 co. But maybe you just call it 450.
450's not bad. Spam from the pistols is deceptively good, though. 3 go down. No kills yet for Red Canids, but Reversive and Ricky are both around 15 HP. Venom Zera now the last alive. Maybe he can get a parting gift onto Reversive, but he's actually tucking in. Venom Zera just missing the mark on the laser. There's that parting gift I mentioned. There he goes. Got through flare. No chance. He had 2 HP. He couldn't even survive back of ramp, I don't believe.
I don't think so. I think he's done. Unless he gets to CT spawn. And that's not happening.
No. Way too far. Even if he could run it with no one being in the way on the fastest route, he would not survive, I don't think. So, Crew get their expected 3-0 start after the failure of that force buy. And now we get into the meat and potatoes of this first half. Red Canids bring out the rifles, full M4s, barring the op for Henny. Good enough utility, not flawless, but good enough. 1 kit in play, it is on Henny as well. And Crew go for a bit of a bonus, investing 1 rifle to recoup the loss from the round prior, and still keeping that Galil in Andrew's hands. This is where Red Canids need to put their foot down, or things might slide out of control quickly.
Spam from Riggy, can't quite get the opener. Drop's going to be tested here at ramp as 4 players ready to engage. Drop, mouse 1 down, 1 and 2, gets all 3, still a chance for 4, running out of ammunition and health points too. Andrew's going to try and take him down, knows where he is, but now help has arrived, no bomb recovered, clutch Molotov in. Flashbang gets miffed a little bit, so does the Molotov, and Drop gets quad from just that little box angle. Doesn't even move from it, Nate. Takes down the first 2, then gets 2 1v1s at the end. Not an easy 4K, but he made it look just that.
3 kills with 1 magazine. Definitely impressive. He could have gotten the 4th as well, but he played it safe. Thanks for that support. Crew humbled very quickly once the rifles come into play. That was a flawless victory for the defense. And Crew's economy that you would have thought might be built up a little bit more is actually quite humble. Andrew is going to be the opper. There's a MAC-10 for Reversive, a Galil for Honda. There are gaps that Red Canids can't exploit, not to mention the lack of utility.
Crew going back at it. Not going to face Henny, though, and that's a good idea. Don't want to give Henny anything to get him kickstarted. Drop's getting face down low, and he somehow still escapes with a kill. Riggy tries to peek behind that smoke, and Drop takes him down. Cold Zera gets 1 onto Honda. In the meantime, Reversive spams away through the smoke. And ships in the night happen out towards Vinny. Another casualty for Crew, but Henny is caught by Andrew, who's going back for more. Trying to have some good impact here in this round. No HE to take out Drop, but he doesn't know that, so he'll back away, make sure he stays alive, maintaining the 2-man advantage. Gets help from Phelps. Now the op of Andrew, last one standing, hiding in Africa, spots out 1, but it's just to try and stay alive now.
20 seconds left into flank. There should be no way he survives unless he gets to secret very quickly. Don't think Cold will let that happen, though. Cold toying with them. And now paranoid of every angle. Tries to go for the quick scope. Can't hit the shot. Cold Zera gets the final kill. Picks up the op as well. 3 survive. That's the minimum to slowly build that CT economy. And so things are still going well for the Red Canids, who are now 1 away from tying up this game early on. Again, once the rifles come through, they've looked far more convincing as a defensive unit.
Yeah, they've looked a lot better since the start of it. I'm sure they're a little rattled still from their earlier match with Swingers and ECL. So They're trying to get their game sense in for this one. Two completely different teams. Nade goes in, only does 26 points of damage, not much at all. The nade to open up Squeaky Door does significantly more, and Molotov might just burn Laser in. That's the bomb dropped, and I think Phelps spotted that too. Surely he did. Drops the smoke. Yeah, he knows. He knows exactly what he's done.
Bomb's picked up, though. It went back into lobby. I don't think Crew are going for the bomb plant at this point. They're just going for kills. It's just blocks. Penny's op finds one. Phelps him in the smoke finds a second. coldzera yet another supporting his opper, and he'll actually double down, finding that final Glock player right around Mini. Succinct and clean, not a point of damage taken for Red Canids as they tie it back up. Crew, another chance at the plate with rifles. I think all AKs, but no, actually, as I say that, Ricky goes for the Galil, as does Reversive. Good utility for this T side, but again, when the rifles come out, they've left me wanting.
I agree. It hasn't been half as good as it was in the opening couple of rounds. And once the rifles have come out for Red Canids, the individuals have started hitting their shots. That's a nice kill by Reversive, a bit lucky with the flashbang there on both players. He's blind again, and coldzera is going to add his second of the round as VenomZeta chimes in elsewhere. Cold holding from Mini, having a massive performance in this round, at least a massive impact, as VenomZeta will double up as well, leaving Andrew to wonder what has happened to the rest of his team. How has everyone died so quickly? He's wandering about in the lobby. What will he do? What will he find?
Probably nasty
death
surprise
at some
event, I
point.
guess. Yeah. He's at the bomb, so he could have gone down towards ramp. He, of course, doesn't have the luxury of X-ray like we do. But veteran coldzera, there's one thing you can expect from him, even if he's not as fiery as he once was. It would be exploiting mistakes. And that smoke, whiffing like it did, is a massive mistake. A gap that he can exploit in Mini. He gets, what, 2, maybe 3? 2 thus far. He played it perfectly, saving VenomZeta with his supporting posture. Red Canids at this point, I'd say they get a 4th. All but guaranteed. The question is, will Andrew make it slightly more expensive or not?
Andrew might just save this too. It looks like that's what he wants to do. Does not want to commit this gun to any fights, does not want to lose it. Has no utility for the next round. Its team, I guess, is going to force around this. That must be the call, given the fact that he went for the save in the first place. A half buy around this a lot more conservative and probably a wiser course of action.
Take times an armor, go fast A, or go through Squeaky, do something, or go through Vent, excuse me, do something different. Up the pace. Just change up anything. So right now the slow style, Andrew's not really slotting into it. He's been last alive a couple times, I think. So we can see everybody go as a unit and together. Maybe things will be different. You're right, the half buy is far more prudent. See a bunch of deagles coming out, so that's not probably going to be a fast play, but maybe it'll be a yard play instead. See what Crew have up their sleeves following this first tactical pause.
Outer yard control taken by a couple. Nade will not go. The smokes will clue Red Canids into the fact that this might have some sort of an outer rush. coldzera busts open the smoke and does a lot of damage to that saved rifle. Takes it down just below half. So he has a good idea of what is going on right now. Crazy thing, too, for Red Canids, Phelps is towards the bottom of the scoreboard. 3 and 5. What a shot by Cold.
Nice tone setter onto the player, Marshmallow. Spots a second as well. Riggy, though, it's his turn to hit his shots. Takes down the very same player we were praising. Andrew now, that hero rifle lurking down secret. Phelps is here, and he actually does have support. He can drop. Good swing from the man you mentioned being quiet in the server. Crew have doubled back, all three heading into lobby, just under a minute left in the round. They're going to have to go face check everything. No flashes, no utility. It's going to be a straight contact play through the hut for Reversive, who's caught looking. Venom Zera gets both, in fact, and Phelps finds Riggy. Acceptable losses for Red Canids, losing 1 to a Deagle. And otherwise, it's been smooth sailing. Majority of the team above 10K or at thereabouts following their investments. Red Canids 5 rounds in a row.
Yeah, solid resurgence once the guns have come out for the Red Canids. They're just marching their way on. Not really bothering with what's in their way. They've settled in nicely. And if you're going to get shots like what Cold Zera's been giving you this game, you're not going to complain if you're Red Canids. You're going to take that all the way to the bank, and you're going to enjoy every bit of it. Henny will get his round started with a nice op shot to open things up onto Riggy. Secret run, though, from the outer yard for Crew, getting 2 players down, but they're very spread out. It's an observation you made about Crew against the pistols. They're doing it against the rifles, too, Nate. And it's also something they did a lot yesterday. It worked better on Mirage for them. It did not work too well on Nuke, where they only put up 5. And we're seeing them have control of different areas of the map, but it's going to be difficult for them to actually execute with this control, given how far apart they are.
Yeah, 2 in decon now isn't really going to do anything. Bomb is here. They can probably pop out, get the bomb plant down, but post-plant position is going to be difficult. Drop is already reading this perfectly well. It looks like it's going to be a fake. They're going to open the door, fake a B plant, and then go up the vents. But Drop is already here to spot the player rushing out to plant the bomb. Somehow he's ahead of this whole ploy. With 25 seconds left, Crew need to make their play quickly.
They need to make their play quickly, and up the vents they go. It's a lineup for Phelps. He'll get 2. Venom Zeta from second will only get 1. Putting Laser in a 1 versus 2. Molotov gives him a chance. Drops up the vents. There's no ammunition for Laser. And so Drop and Laser are just going to disengage here. Bomb plant attempted. Will not be secured. Drop will get it before it goes down. And so it's 6 in a row now for the Red Canids, and Crew play themselves. They had a lot of potential out of that round with the players down low, but 2 spread apart means they can't execute on it properly, and it all comes crashing down in the end.
I liked their idea. It was very convoluted, is a negative connotation, but intricate, I think, is the better way to put it. Fake out of decon, send the bomb immediately up the vents to group up with the players in mini. The issue is they had no angles cleared, and Red Canids knew exactly what part of the maps they had given up. They played the crossfire out of mini perfectly. They had the player top of silo on B to get the information there on that pop play out. It's very well done from Red Canids. We're now up against pistols and a lonely MAC-10 in round number 10. Drop at ramp will fall away. Phelps finds a pair. He's beginning to wake up individually. Henny finds the third. Drop hears at least 1 at ramp. Henny is the one to find the first, but Laser does at least find something in response. The op picked up now. This could be a dangerous proposition, especially if Laser can hit shots like that.
Needs to have a lot more of those in this round, though, to get Crew something. They haven't gotten anything on the board in the last 6. Misses the first one onto a wide-open Phelps, who ducks behind that silo. Nade out will do some damage. Chucks Phelps down to 38 HP, but he's just waiting for help. He's got a flank coming in from Cold Zera. He'll take the fight, but that's just to keep Laser focused on this angle as Cold creeps in from behind. There's the finishing job. And 7 in a row from the Red Canids here. Phelps almost got that kill, too. Did quite a bit with the body shots. But again, he was playing all that for Cold's glory.
Yes, he was. These rounds have not been close once the rifles come through. That was, I think, the closest it's been. It was 2v1, 1v2 that was into a 1v4.
Yeah, it was a 1v4 into a 1v2.
Crew, flatter than flat. Once the half really begins following that pistol round blunder. Andrew has an op once again to rival the likes of Henny. He has won the duel once before. He might again with this aggression. Henny, a leg shot. Andrew does not aim for the legs, however. Big opening for Crew, but can they pivot that into success? That is the question. Is Red Canids still have plenty of firepower alive and ready in the server?
Nade will just tickle reversive and lasers. They'll retreat towards the fire and flames awaiting them on the ramp rush. Getting into trophy room. Drop is here. Sprays away, does more damage, but a nice shot from reverse, and that is clean on the double burst. And so a two-man advantage now for Crew to work with here. Their best chance in a long time of getting around to the board. Is there anybody down low? Yes. Phelps is here, though. He's in a bit of an off angle, though, and coldzera does deal with the lurker outer yard. 4 players streaming towards Phelps. He hears him. He's got Venom Zeta coming down to help as well. It's not just going to be Phelps anymore. Venom Zeta does open the double doors to try and take some of the heat off of his teammate. Honda crosses over through the smoke. Phelps, first one done. Needs 2 more. Does not get it at all. Cold is here. One bit messy. Spots out both. Gets the reload off. Time is dwindling down. One bullet. Gets it off now. Finally gets that reload in. Jiggles across. And Andrew with that op. Still working around. Cold. Needs to put the bomb timer. Gets the spot. Andrew might have to go for this. Does have a smoke. Cold's just trying to delay as long as he can. And now, Andrew does get that bomb to dirt. Andrew spotted. Has that op again, but coldzera sprays him down. The op shot misses. It's a quad from Cold. And the 2-time major winner comes up clutch again for Red Canids. He's been on fire this game, 13-4. And it's been a long time since I've seen him have this kind of a performance.
He struggled in the last 3 months, and I agree. This is a star-level performance that you would love to see out of coldzera. It's a very, very exciting prospect, having seen him perform individually thus far. But his team across the board has done quite well. Venom Zera and Drop at 8 apiece, Phelps at 10. And he's been quieter, but he's also been very assertive with his opping. The damage done in that round is inconsequential for Red Canids, as they have so much money in the bank that it doesn't matter. They can easily reinvest. coldzera didn't even pick up the op. He had so much money in the bank that he could drop one if necessary. Crew now are just playing scared. 1 in the yard, showing presence. 4 inside, spamming in hopes of finding an opening that they can try to exploit once more. They had the opening in the round prior and have nothing to show for it.
Crew burning daylight, walking around without any commitment or contact right now. Still have a good amount of utility to work with. Also would like to note that Venom Zera has a Zeus.
Why not?
It is last round after all.
When in
No
Rome.
reason not to.
38 seconds left, though. It's going to be an A-split. Riggy on this lurk is going to try to do something, but Phelps is holding for it. Phelps caught looking, looked the wrong way, just the right time. Honda and Riggy are combining for kills. Reversive chimes in with a trade on the coldzera. It's Henny, the opper. A quiet round thus far, or a quiet map, rather, and he is unable to find anything. 8-4 lead for Red Canids as we hit the halftime break.
Something new, yeah. Got my senses here on overload. All my body is for you to hold. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Feel like something new, yeah. And I never thought that
Red Canids won 8 of the last 9 rounds to close that half out with an 8-4 lead. Crew got the first and the last of the half, but not much else. Just a couple of anti-force buys, anti-ecos. It's Boggs and Pineapple Phillips on the mic here. Crew versus Red Canids, the second map of the day for the Red Canids. Reversive with a headshot, and Honda with one of the dual Berettas as well. Pistol round starting off perfectly for Crew as it did on the first half. Now Laser chimes in with one from ramp. Andrew has drop. Phelps, 1 versus 5. He'll get 2, so this is actually doable, but Honda puts him to bed, spamming with those dual Berettas. And so both pistol rounds go the way of Crew, and that keeps them in this game so far.
Yes, it does. Gives them some viability. Preventing the bomb plant as well probably keeps Red Canids from going for the investment in the second round of the half. Red Canids, not a dime invested, and probably will not be a single dime invested. Oh, never mind. Phelps has a deagle. Not sure who purchased it. Oh, it's a glitch on the HUD. I would try to guess he most certainly did. Slow. Cold Zero lurking inside. Everybody else outside. Drop up top of Marshmallow. What can Phelps do with this deagle?
Well, he can't do anything to start that one off on a Riggy. MP9, of course, always good to farm up the anti-ecos. He'll get 3, able to escape, but not for long. Cold will tap him away with the Glock, and first fire will not get him another. So only 1 kill goes the way of the Red Canids. It was close, indeed, on reversive, but things end as it should, with only 1 kill going the way of the Red Canids.
Now Crew are 2 away from tying it up. Those pistol round wins giving them major viability in this one because, as we mentioned, they won 1 rifle round in the first half. Definitely not something you can build up a lot off of, especially if you lose the pistol. Red Canids, as we mentioned, going to go for the rifles in round 3. Their utility isn't the best, but at least they have full AKs, and at least from the first half, it most certainly felt like they had a hefty individual advantage when it came to the duels.
Yeah. That's a timing by Andrew. Gets a pair from Secret Stare. That's a nice double to find both Phelps and drop his victims. Half damage onto Henny, too. Not a good start in the gun round here for the Red Canids, and they don't have any utility left to work with. 1 molly, 1 flashbang. It's going to come down to duels. And they're missing a critical heavy hitter in Phelps as well for these duels. Cold's losing his first engagement. There's no way they expect the second silence. There's no way they expect the second. No, they don't. Reversive 1 free. Gets 2. Henny in the open takes more damage he can't afford. And now he's in a 1 versus 2. Gonna get backstabbed here. There it is. Riggy from behind. And Crew are 1 round away from tying this up against the Red Canids on a map which they struggled on yesterday, but they've looked far better on here today, despite that long slide.
Despite the long slide and despite having a sub, they're 1 away from tying it up with Red Canids, and they're on the defensive side as well. That is a pretty big advantage. That is also their second rifle round 1. Red Canids gonna go for the half buy. They've yet to put the bomb to dirt. It hamstrings their economy a bit, but with that loss bonus, it kind of helps out regardless. Tech 9s and a P250. Okay utility, and it looks like perhaps an aggressive play out towards A, unless Honda and Riggy can shut it down. Honda the first, reversive the second. Honda yet another before drop finally finds something. But again, a bomb plant does not seem feasible. Henny paranoid about the flank that's not coming through. In the meanwhile, drop is felled. Henny 1 versus 4 and a none versus 4 as he cannot connect the shots at range. Crew swiftly tie things up. They keep it clean, and they're quickly building a CT side economy.
The ops out for Andrew, who has slotted in quite nicely today. The individuals, though, in Rigi and Reversive particularly, have shown up in spades for Crew in critical moments. And that's really been the difference maker to me from what I saw yesterday. Also, they haven't really had many individual pathing mistakes. There were quite a few of those yesterday that came back to bite them. And it's a revitalized Crew looking much better than it did yesterday, but Henny will start things off. Op pick outside, Rigi, who's been good, taken out of the field of play for now. Reversive's going to drop down the vents and take up a little bit of an angle towards Secret. In the meantime, though, this aggression from Laser pays off too. Opening duel against Cold Zera. Now just trades out in lobby into a 3 versus 3. A bit of an awkward round, as Red Canids have a lot of space outside, and Crew are still in flux trying to rotate and counter this.
Yeah, but Henny has an awkward situation. He's rotating back towards back lobby to get this bomb. But if he scopes to look for someone in lobby, it will be heard as a sound cue. He needs to be very careful, because his teammates are across the map. Drop and Phelps getting set up. Drop doubling back to go towards Mini with the Opper. Phelps perhaps set up for the time being to go into heaven for an A-site play. 35 seconds left, beginning to get down to the wire. So here it comes, an A play. 2 are here. Laser towards Hut. Venom or Reversive on site. Scope probably heard. Good shot from Henny. Now the wrap in from Heaven comes through. That should probably find this player in Hut. Never mind. Laser finds drop, and with 17 seconds left, Red Canids need to move. Phelps, a labored spray does connect. It leaves Andrew, the sub, and the Opper in a 1v2. Ladder looking for the first, but Phelps is ready for it. Gets the tag, not quite the kill, but that should be the round with the information gained.
Andrew will survive. Red Canids will keep their lead, if just only. And Crew are going to go back to the drawing board here. They will have money to buy up. That is the nice thing. Laser can drop Honda or Rigi. Laser had a little bit more, so I'm assuming it's going to be him. Andrew will get some utility. Honda gets the M4. Everybody has a good buy for kits. Things are looking good for the CT side, at least as far as how they've done in this half is concerned. But there's a problem, Nate. And if this comes back and keeps going back and forth round trading, Red Canids will eventually win. They have that advantage.
And if they're trading, the T side gets the snowball as well.
Yeah.
Always have to worry about that. Still full rifles for both teams. Red Canids lining up their flashbang drops for their teammate, who's going to be in himself throwing nade lineups. That's Henny. I can't tell if they're going to commit off this. They don't have much utility, so they might have to. Taking a lot of time to just simply walk around the map, and that might broadcast information to Crew, who have a player back garage and is not spotting anything crossing towards Mini.
Smoke's going in for the A take. Molotov to second vents. One's hopping up on top of Hut is Reversive. Honda's around Tetris too. Nades go out. Drop goes up. Does not clear. Honda 1, Reversive 1. Cold trades out the first. Still Honda alive. Tetris sprays away another. Cold Zera last alive. Or does have Henny with him, but now it's just Henny and he gets nothing at all. Only 2 kills from Cold and a clean mop on the A site for Crew, as Red Canids go straight to a tactical timeout. Their money busted with no bomb plant. And that round for Red Canids, a couple of mistakes. Not clearing top Hut is a big error.
He did spot it. The issue was the player top Hut was oscillating back and forth, and the entry outdoor did not do his due diligence in clearing it out. Tactical timeout definitely I would say overdue, given their economy. It looks like they're gonna. I don't want to call it a tilt buy, but it definitely feels like a tilt buy to me. Drop as low as he is, and with Henny not being able to afford his op. Phelps, what is he gonna go for? Equally good question. This is pretty important for the momentum. If Crew can keep this one relatively clean, they can reestablish their CT economy. If Red Canids can break this CT side, they definitely should have an advantage by a round or even two.
It all hangs on by a thread for both sides right now. And right now, the thread is unraveling for Red Canids as Crew started off with 2 quick kills. Red Canids have to battle it back in. Drop Henny and Cold. Drop on a Mac. Henny on a Galil. Helmets cross the CT side. Reversive finds Cold. And that it's just 2. Laser. Here's 1. They don't check it. Running around with the bomb out. That much time on the clock. And the errors are coming fast and furious for Red Canids. Crew take a lead late into this game. And the money again for Red Canids with no bomb plant is not there for a full buy. What should be a solid 11 on the board for Crew is coming up next.
Yeah, this should be an 11th unless Red Canids can suddenly make the Tech-9s work. Their lack of bomb plants is really hurting them as well.
Oh, yeah.
They haven't even gotten close because of that. Old Zera. Molly burned down to 5. The Molotov spreads in a way he doesn't expect. It gives Riggy 2 before he falls. Down the vents just in case. And Red Canids, their early aggression, called out yet again by Crew. Laser gonna be tested ramp, but he has support now. Drop. Thinks he has the drop on his opponent by getting ahead of it. And he actually does. Thanks to the peek from his teammate Venom Zera. That's the ramp taken, and now a race in towards this B site. Is the bomb here, though, is the question. The answer is no. Simply put, it's sitting in trophy instead. Honda at door, trying to fight into this site. Gets one, but he's tagged quite low. Henny and Venom Zera. Final pair. Henny making his way down. Again, he has the bomb on his back, but he's more keen on trying to find a duel or at least an upgrade. Does find the AK. He'll finally go down.
It's not going to be a likely round for Red Canids to win, though. The health is not good enough for Venom Zeta. He does upgrade to a Galil, which is something. But it's still a very bleak situation for Red Canids to be in here. They'll try and put this one on the board in their favor. It's really going to rest on Henny and his ability to hit the shots. Smoke down. Honda clears out with the op in hand. Venom Zeta goes down. Henny 1. Bomb still being stuck. Henny sprays, and he won't even get the second as the bomb is defused in the meantime. Crew go up by 2 and only need 2 more to finish this one off and send us on to the second, having taken one of 2 best of ones from the Red Canids.
Red Canids at least got the bomb plant that facilitates a very strong full buy heading into this with the loss bonus. But they need wins at this point. They're out of rope, out of time. Nothing else will prevent this from going the way of Crew. Full AKs for the T side. Again, bulk of the presence towards lobby. Phelps being left to lurk in the yard. That has been what he's known for on this map. It's simply walking out yard. Every time I've watched him play, him pushing forward in that position, one-man army. He has been stymied thus far in the second half. 2 kills quickly going the way of Crew by virtue of spam. 1 through the wall of hut after initial contact, and 1 simply put through a smoke with a bit of luck coming in from a reversive.
Sometimes you need a little bit of luck on your side, but Crew have not relied on too much of it. Overall, Nate, they've done, for the most part, just what they've needed to. Take fights, take duels, win trades. And Red Canids have not been up to snuff here. A lot of their early rounds, some big performances by Cold Zera and company. But on this T side, they have fallen flatter than a flapjack. And that's going to be another kill going the way of Crew as Honda and Phelps have a nice little 50-51 that Honda takes out dominantly. Then Venom Zero walks out, not expecting Honda still top hut. Henny will trade him out. Up and up the vents. Riggy pops out. How do you do, Henny? Takes him down, and now Crew 1 away from taking this map.
1 away and only letting 1 T round through as well, preventing bomb plants more often than not. And again, I think this comes back to what we talked about in the pregame show. I feel like it's a little bit of fatigue. They just played another ECL match. They had, I think, 10 to 15 minutes at most to prep for this one. And that might be too much to ask of a team at this stage in ECL, because Red Canids are definitely showing how tired they are. You mentioned looking far sloppier on this T side.
Not much utility left for the Red Canids. The Regalils, an AK, an op for Henny. He continues to buy into that op on the T side, even though I'd like to see him with just a rifle, personally. Seems like it might just make a better difference to go in for that rifle. Have a little bit more fluidity and mobility. Riggy, maybe the first point of contact down towards double doors. Not jump spotting it, just jiggling it. Looking for a head. But right now, no such luck. Long time being taken by the Red Canids. Time dwindling down. 48 to go. They'll have to make a play. Looks like a B split here. 3 ramp, 2 towards secret. Reggie spots out 1, takes down 1, goes for 2. Still around to fight, runs out of ammunition here, and he gets it! Second to last bullet in the magazine, lands right on drop. Cold, Venom Zera, and Henny, the last 3 standing. And Cole, the messy duel, wins that against Laser. Henny strikes, 3 versus 2, man advantage. And now no gun for Cole as he tries to swap. Henny falls as well. And Crew a 13-9 upset on the first best of 1 of the